As parents, of course, we dread the moment our kids might get into some sort of trouble.
Especially trouble with the law. But News 3's David Douglas has a story about making the most out of a tough situation, David.
Well, Susan, sometimes you have to make mistakes to learn a lesson. But what if the mistake you make gets you a ticket or even arrested? What if your one mistake could hurt your chances of getting a job or getting into college? Tonight, a story in the true spirit of second chances.
It is your duty to make sure that she has a fair hearing.
This Iowa County courtroom is a classroom.
Docket number 10-05.
Where teens, some who got in trouble, come to learn lessons.
A light bulb goes on.
Not taught in school.
And they realize that the conduct is unacceptable.
Welcome to Teen Court.
I was afraid that they were going to go easy on him.
A serious,
I didn't think it was bad weather. I mean, it was just wet.
gloves off approach.
I think it's, in one sense, a healing process.
To keeping teens from getting in trouble twice.
It could be looked upon as a restorative justice.
Today, Amber Larson's case is on the docket.
What speed do you think you were going?
The charge? Driving too fast for conditions.
And I didn't know the roads were icy.
Resulting in a crash as snow fell in December.
When it rains out, I still go the speed limit.
Her mother has been called to the stand.
Anyone could have wrecked in this situation.
Teens do it all in this courtroom that looks like any other, but looks are where the differences end.
Why, wouldn't you think that the roads were icy if it was snowing?
The jurors get to ask questions. The defendants must admit their guilt.
All rise.
And the sentences are harsh.
5 jury terms, 25 hours of community service, an 800-word essay on driving in hazardous conditions.
Larson must also tell her story to a driver's ed class.
I think it just gives the kids an opportunity to make better decisions.
Teen court is optional.
Be more alert.
So why would anyone choose to admit guilt and guarantee a stricter sentence?
I think it is a lot better than having something on your record, and it gives you like a second chance from stupid mistakes.
Sabrina Bodcher poured pop on an ex-boyfriend's car after serving her sentence, including mandatory time on the jury.
And I really enjoy being here.
She's back as a volunteer.
Because you learn about other things that you could easily do.
Even when the ones that come in with this big bad attitude that, they shouldn't have got this, they get involved.
Iowa County Judge Bill Dyke created the program in the 90s.
I feel it's absolutely appropriate for some of our young people.
Even parents of former defendants find themselves back in the courtroom as volunteers.
I think the kids realize that there are people out there that care, and they respond to that.
A response to tough justice.
We, the teen jury, have
delivered by teens themselves.
They know how to ask some very probing questions to bring the whole thing to a conclusion. They do a good job.
We had fun being there and watching. Now, here's the deal. You only get to go through teen court once. And once you've completed your sentence, your case is dismissed as if it never happened. But get in trouble a second time and you'll face the standard juvenile justice process and end up with a record.
Very interesting. But what about that? What happens if you reoffend?
Well, then you're going to go back to court and you're going to see the judge and you'll pay your ticket or maybe do some jail time, just depends what happens. But most of them are low-level cases, and most of the kids are not seen back in court at all, period, unless they come back to teen court as volunteers once they complete their sentence. And as you heard, a lot of them have to do time on the jury, and that gets them to see all the other things they could do or might have done and says, hey, listen, I'm not going to make that mistake twice.
All right. Very interesting. News 3's David Douglas reporting tonight. David, thank you very much.
Thanks, David.